Talking with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, previewing the bowl games here on SBR TV. We're going to take a look right now at the Poinsettia Bowl. It's Louisiana Tech plus 10.5 against TCU. Louisiana Tech did impress down the stretch, and TCU, of course, is a powerhouse team, is sort of on a down year. I just don't have a good read on this one. I can't tell whether Louisiana Tech might be a good bet, plus 10.5. Louisiana Tech was 10-2 against the spread on the year, so at least during the regular season they were undervalued, while TCU, again, on a down year, only 6-6 against the spread. I guess I would lean Louisiana Tech plus 10.5, but again, I'm very confused by this game. What light can you shed on it?
Well, TCU is just 6-9. That's 40% against the spread the last 3 years when they're playing teams with winning records. Louisiana Tech's record this year, straight up, is 8-4. Louisiana Tech has ripped off 7 consecutive wins,
sure,
both straight up and against the spread. Look at the straight up record and you say, oh, TCU 10-2, and they're a public team. They've gone to BCS bowl games the last 2 years in a row. This has to be a disappointment for TCU going to the Poinsettia Bowl after being in 2 BCS bowl games the last 2 years. On the other side, Louisiana Tech is so happy to be in this Poinsettia Bowl. They accepted their bid before Thanksgiving, so they couldn't be happier about playing in this and playing a named team like TCU, whereas I'm not sure how happy TCU is playing a good team, but certainly not a popular team in Louisiana Tech. When TCU has been outpassed, and that happened 6 times this season, they're 0-6 against the spread. So you look at Louisiana Tech's passing offense, they rank 49th nationally. However, since Colby Cameron took over as quarterback the last 5 games, they went from averaging 224.9 yards passing per game before Colby Cameron took over as a starter, all the way up to 278.2 yards passing since Colby Cameron has been the full-time starter. In the last 4 games, Louisiana Tech has brought down their average. This is something that the statistics will sort of fail people. They brought down their passing defensive average, which looks bad on paper, 76th in the nation against FBS teams. But in the last 4 games, they brought it down to 200 yards a game, which is good enough to rank 43rd nationally. TCU, on the other hand, it looks like they're going to be without their career extra point leader and their senior kicker, their leading scorer. He's going to be out for disciplinary reasons. So looking at this, the public is overwhelmingly loving TCU, at least as a popular team. After beating Boise State, the public was sold. Everything is pointing to we should take Louisiana Tech and get as many points as possible. But that said, I think that this line is going to get even higher over time because as the public weighs in on this, I think they're going to drag that line higher. So I would wait to bet this game. Wait till you get Louisiana Tech at 12 to maybe even 14 points.
Wow. Well, that was an awesome and thorough analysis, Steve. Let me just say right there, and very compelling. I agree with you. It certainly backs up my lean. I guess just playing devil's advocate, the one thing that's just like a little bit in the corner of my mind, it might be in the corner of someone else's mind. They're just looking at this and thinking, well, maybe TCU just has they just have a talent advantage that's a notch above Louisiana Tech, and when they get a bunch of weeks off to sort of like gather themselves, get healed a little bit, that maybe it'll come in and there'll be just like too great of a talent differential for Louisiana Tech to overcome. What's your take on that if you hear that?
I am hoping that Louisiana Tech hears that because I'm sure that that's what TCU is thinking, and that's what the public is thinking. And that is exactly what Louisiana Tech wants everyone to think. Louisiana Tech has everything to prove against a named team in TCU. And what does TCU have to prove? 10-2 this year. They already beat Boise State. I can't imagine that beating Louisiana Tech is going to seem more impressive to the general public or to TCU than beating Boise State at Boise.
Right. All right. I'm sold.